Welcome back to Redbeard RPG. Well, I guess not welcome back. Welcome to a new adventure in Pillars of Eternity. Um, did a little research into the game. There's definitely strong recommendations from the community around this game in order to play the original one first. I do have the second one as well, so hopefully I end up liking this one and I get to do both. It's definitely, it's just plain and simple. It's just digital D&D, which sounds very fun. Give me just 1 second. We'll get things set up. Sorry it took, if you were waiting, it took a little longer to get set up than normal. It's a new game. I should have given myself more time. But we'll get going here in just a second. Any of my regular viewers will recognize this level of professional production. All right. I think we're all settled in. Hopefully audio and everything's good. We'll find out. Let me know if anything needs adjusted along the way. All right, character creation. I've only played as a girl in like one game so far on the channel. It really raised the question. Let's see, a woman's role in Aura is largely dependent on where she's from. And Deerwood, I believe is how you pronounce that actually. Many domestic, educational, and organizational roles. They are primary hunters, soldiers, and leaders of the tribes of, what is that, Nastik? Okay. And then, what does it say? Place of men in society varies from culture to culture. More or less the same kind of thing. We'll go ahead. We'll be male. Next. All right. Now, what race? Human is kind of boring. I probably won't do that. What do we got here? Amuna. The mighty Amuna is the largest of the Kith races, commonly found or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rotai, are based on naval dominance. They're known for unparalleled strength. Okay. Interesting. Oh, good. I can kind of look around. That's is Kith. Is that supposed to be like elves? No. It's a whole separate thing for elves. Dwarf. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in Deerwood, the Valian Republic, and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. Oh, I should have been paying attention to these little bonuses right here. What does human got? Resolve and might +1, might +2. Dwarf has might +2, dexterity -1, and constitution +1. Elf is dexterity and perception +1. Elves are a dominant race in Galmtheth, and the Whitewood Winds, and are extremely common in Deerwood and Ader. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as commonly isolationist nature. Oran are the smallest of the Kilt races. So Kilt is like its own thing, I guess. There's some similarities to the elf. But yeah, they're kind of their own thing. Okay. Orans are the smallest of the Kilt races though many of the cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also noticeable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and Hirstite bodies. Orlans are commonly found in Ganfeld and the, oh boy, I'm not going to know how to say any of this stuff. I do believe there is quite a bit of voice acting in this, so I might figure out how to say a lot of these places as we go along. Um, I'm not super familiar with this series. I know Obsidian's making a game Avowed, which is more Elder Scrolls like in being a first person RPG that is set in this universe, which is part of why I want to play this game. But anyways, found in Ganfouth and the Exmalt Plains and parts of the Deerwood. They're also known for mental intensity and sharp senses. +1 resolve, -1 might, +2 perception, and godlike. That's kind of cool. Godlike are children of the Kilth. Does Kilth just mean civilized race? Is that all that means? Who've been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical of godlikes unable to wear protective headgear, and it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlikes are often viewed with fear and wonder. +2 dexterity, or +1 dexterity, +1 intellect. This is kind of a tough one. Orland could be interesting. Godlike, I don't know about that. But I'm not entirely sure. What is, they got little pop-ups here. Resolve reflects character, internal drive, determination, fearlessness, project on others. Contributes to will and deflection defenses. And perception. Who's got the stats I want? I was kind of thinking of going mage, is kind of what I was thinking. But none of these guys seem really. I mean, it all seems to be like, I guess intellect. That's probably logic and reasoning. Affects abilities and talents. That's probably the magic system in this game, I would guess. I guess let's try the Orland. I need to make this text a little bit bigger. I'm gonna have to, once we get into the game, I'm gonna have to jump into options and do that. Make it a little easier for me to read, as well as anyone who might be like watching on their phone or something like that. Let's try this guy. All right, we got a Hearth Orland or a Wild Orland. Oh, my goodness. Wild Orlands, original Orlands who lived in the deepest forests and jungles between the tropics, while they have been significantly separated from Hearth Orlands for 1,000 years. A few genetic differences appeared rapidly, most notably the lack of facial hair in the Hearth Orland branch. Wild Orlands are common in the deep reaches. Defiant resolve. After being subjected to a will attack, Orlands temporarily gain bonus to all defenses. Interesting. And they get minor threat when attacking target, also targeted, but when attacking any target, that target is also targeted by a teammate. Hearth Orlands convert some of their hits into crits. This might not be the right choice. So, I mean, this is a fighter, clearly. It seems like godlikes are the only. Let's see what they got for godlikes. Nature godlike, moon godlike, fire and death. Yeah, the nature one is probably the one I like the most. Bonus to magic constitutions. Man, it really seems like this is the only one that's built to be a mage. But I assume there's some play in there. Is constitution? Characters, overall health and stamina. Okay, so that makes them a little more tanky, that +1 to constitution. No, let's go with the original plan. We'll go Orlin and we'll go Hearth Orlin. Let's do that. All right. Automatically picked fighter. Frontline discipline. They're most commonly found in cultures with organized martial structure. Fighters can also be encountered wandering mercenaries and bodyguards and other types of sellswords. Heavily focused on endurance. They get a bonus to athletics. Lore. Lore is its whole own stat. Get set back up here. Definitely the druid build looks interesting. We'll have to see what these other ones are. Ugh. All right. Storming a little outside too, so I hope the stream doesn't full on cut out, but oh well, got to work with what you got, the time you got. All right, let's take a quick here. All right, minimalist at heart druids tap into the spiritual powers that flows through the simple living of the aura plants. Kind of skim through, and plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, druids do have a reverence to the natural and keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, druids are understood as sort of a primal magician, but among the Galfans and Nastique and many other rural cultures, they have positions of high authority. Ooh, what we got here for starting abilities? Spirit shift. All druids have mastered one animalistic form. That's interesting. These forms give druids strong melee abilities and grant additional power while the druid is shifted. Along with spells, druids have a variety of offensive and some support-oriented spells. Every 2 levels, druids automatically gain access to an additional set of spells. Let's see. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest. Interesting. Okay. So, like, I wonder if that's like that for all spellcasters, where it's related to uses per rest rather than how much mana you have. All right, endurance very low, health low, accuracy very well, deflection average. So they have horrible stats. We'll have to keep that in mind. It's got lore and survival +2, which gives us damage reducing, healing multiplier, movement, accuracy bonus versus creature types, bonus damage versus, what's that say? Flanked enemies? That's interesting. So the monk, there's a variety of fighting orders. Yeah, it's going to be like a hand-to-hand specialist, right? Starting ability, Transcendent Suffering. When monks have no weapons equipped, their unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful and continue increases they gain levels. Wounds. As monks are damaged, their pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used as power of many of monks' special abilities. Interesting. About wizard. Masters of Magic. He literally holds a book. What's that, like a book and a mace? That doesn't look like a regular staff. Masters of Academia Magic. Wizards are students of the arcane traditions. It's kind of what I was thinking. Arcane Assault, mid-range attack that hits a small area for raw damage. I really need to make the font larger. Variety of spells, of course. Lore and mechanics. That's a new skill that hasn't been mentioned before. Also very low stats across the board. Kind of what you expect. Traps and locks could be a problem for even toughest adventurers. Okay, that's interesting. So it'll have like lock-picking spells and such like that. Let's see, Rogue and Ranger. We got a probably pretty good idea what those guys are. Little sneak thief types. Bowman. Rangers do get an animal, a companion. That's pretty cool. Priest, I'm assuming, is probably the healer. Let's see. Starting village Holy Radiance generates a modest amount of endurance for allies around the piece. Okay, so he has what do they call those in Diablo? Like the paladin would have a spell like thorns or something like that. Yeah, anyone close to him would get those abilities. Support and some offensive oriented spells. What about paladin? Faith and conviction. Yeah, their abilities don't seem good, but their stats seem mostly average. Okay. About barbarian. I assume paladin, both paladin and barbarian are probably different variations of the light tank variety. A little bit faster movement, but not quite as much. Like defensive. Yeah, he's got very high and everything else. And Carnage, is that kind of like a rage spell? Or adrenaline? A lot of games call it that as well. What's Chanter? In every culture across Aura, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic, and their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of the wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. So is this the bard? Phrases chants. Yeah. Passive effects. Yeah, this is definitely the bard. Invocation, power magical effects that chanters create after they've spoken the required number of phrases. Okay. All right, so that's our bard. What is Cypher then? Still leaning towards Druid. Chanter seems kind of interesting, but it does seem like it'll be kind of a pain until I have a tank typed character to distract for damage while I do my buffing everyone else up. Recent discovery in the Eastern Reach, ciphers were once called Brigwin Mind Hunters. Ooh. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally's or enemy's essence to focus their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They're gaining acceptance over time, but they're generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Well, yeah, why would you trust someone who can control your mind? That's not that wild of an idea. Ciphers directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers focus which ciphers build through their soul whip. Stealth, lore, and mechanics. That's a pretty interesting one too. I don't feel, especially with this being my first playthrough, that might be a little bit much. I think I'm going to go Druid. I think that's where we're going to go. I like the shape shifting, so I can shift in to do melee if need be, as well as I have a variety of offensive and some support spells, so maybe I can heal as well. I think that's going to work for us. All right. I get one bear. What are the difference between these? Draws upon the druid's natural connection to the bear, temporarily allow him or her to assume that form. The bear shift has high damage reduction and can invoke a terrifying roar. Can only be used a set number of times per combat. Okay. And only lasts 15 seconds. That's not great. All right, what about boar? Endurance and damage. Same thing, 15 seconds, one time per encounter. Okay. What does cat do? Let's see. Faster attacks, shorter period of time. Okay. And is that stag? So deer. Does high defensive and can attack groups of enemies with its melee carnage attack. I very much like that. And let's check the wolf. Wolf moves quickly and has an attack that can knock enemies prone, which is like paralysis in other games. Okay. Reduces reflex and deflection and can't take action. That's pretty good as well. I think I'm going to go with the stag, though. I kind of like the fact that he has an AoE attack where he can hit multiple enemies at once. That can really get yourself out of a pickle real quick. Let's go with that. All right, we got 15 points left. Why do these have stars next to them? Are these like my primary skills, I'm guessing? Yeah, let's just go through them. Might represents characters' physical and spiritual strength, brute force, as well as their ability to channel powerful magic. Okay, so might does both. Okay. During interactions, it can be used for intimidating displays of acts of brute force. On combat, contributes to both damage and healing, as well as fortitude defense. Highly recommended for druid. Okay. Okay, so I got -1 might because of my class. Okay. Constitution, overall health and stamina. Although it's not used much in interactions, it is sometimes checked to withstand pain. Oops, sorry about that. Ugh. Let's try that again. Although it's not used much in interactions, sometimes it's checked to withstand pain or endure physical taxing ordeal. And combat affects maximum health and endurance and contributes to fortitude defense. Dexterity is abstraction of characters' hand-eye coordination, balance, and overall grace. In interactions, it can be used for sleight of hand and fast reactions. In combat, affects the character's action speed with all attacks, spells, abilities, and contributes to reflex defense. Perception represents a character's senses as well as their instinctive ability to pick up on details in interactions. It can be used to catch someone in a lie or make an observant comment about their appearance or notice something happening in the background. In combat, it contributes to accuracy and reflex defense and also grants a bonus to interrupt. Intellect is characters' logic, reasoning capabilities. Interactions can be useful for deduction, sudden realizations, problem solving. In combat, it contributes to will, defense, and influences durations and areas of effect for abilities and talents. Yes, we definitely want that. And last, we have resolve, reflects a character's internal drive, determination, fearlessness, and emotional intensity they can project to others. It can be useful for mental intimidation, leadership, convincing performances. In combat, it helps character maintain concentration and contributes to will and deflection defenses. Okay. So what, we got 15 skills. We'll get that up to 15. That up to 15 and this up to 15. We'll do 13 with that. That way we can do 16 and 16. I'm assuming, yeah, silver is recommended, gold is highly recommended. Okay. I'm good with that. And let's see, what culture? There is a ton of depth in this. This is freaking awesome. All right, so now we got to run through these. Ander Empire, currently largest and most powerful force in this part of the world, centered around the equator. Has a tropical climate, though the empire has colonies in numerous areas of the world. Greater Adar has its heart and houses the majority of human and elven nations. Deadfire. It changes your weapon depending on what culture you are. He's got like a cutlass and small shield. He's got like a big bow staff, which I like. Consisting of the nation of Nastique, dozens of Arma settlements, and hundreds of lawless, pirate-infested islands. Ooh, I also like that. Especially along the southern area. Deadfire is a home to Barrel Dwarves and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire Archipelago is the last stop, and for anyone headed to the east, multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. I bet the pirates also contribute to that being virtually impossible. I like having the bow staff as the starting weapon, but it's not really practical. Dexterity +1's not going to help us out much for at least our character build. And what we got? Club and Shield, Blunton Board. Located northeast of Earl Galfrak, I still don't know how to say that. Exmalti Plains, large expanse of fertile savannas that are extensively farmed by humans and Orland residents. That's what we are. The culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over several thousand years. I also like that too. Imperialism, believe it or not good. All empires that grow too large do eventually fall. Resolve is moderately helpful, I think, if I remember correctly. Old Valania. Once the crown jewel of the southern seas, Old Valania is now a crumbled remain of an empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among their ranks, Old Valan countries are still a force to be reckoned with and proud of their cultural heritage. Intellect +1, which is good. And what do we get? What do they call those? Like halberds? A long axe on a stick. A halb. I forget what they call the weapon. I don't know. It's something like that. I don't remember. All right. Ratua, dominated by the Arma nation of Ratua. The Gulf itself is a host to a number of nations, most of them Orland and Dwarven. These countries are relatively young, and they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches, resources of those who can for those who can take them through the entire coast, often plummeted by violent storms. Small shield and a spear. I kind of like that too. Living Lands is a mountainous region. What do we got here? Short sword and large shield. Living Lands is a mountainous region of the northern island, renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life, whether it's unpredictable and its ecosystem. The weather is unpredictable and its ecosystem is varies dramatically from valley to valley. Living Lands are home to an assortment of races and a variety of colonial independent settlements. And the white that wins is, more barbarians. Just got a steel, definitely barbarian-esque garb. Adds a perception. I haven't checked those. Might +1 for them. That's not that useful. Constitution. Didn't that one help? No, it did not. We want might, intellect, and resolve. Intellect probably being the most important. What was this one? Intellect for Old Valantia, and I do like the starting weapon as well. So that's a win-win for Old Valantia. Even though it didn't say this was like humans and dwarves, yeah. So not the most canon, but that might be where we're going. Probably a hint that I picked the wrong character class for what I'm doing here, but that's all right. And did perception matter? Perception did not, right? Yeah. A large cracked southern expanse of polar ice, the white that wins, is a home place to elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts, and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the white, it's home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. Okay, so we want might or intellect, which the living lands could give us. And I'm not super opposed to the sword and board. It always comes off kind of generic. It's normally the easiest way to play the game in most RPGs, at least starting out. Normally, by the end of it, the mages become the most powerful. Is typically how these kind of games go. But we'll see with that. Constitution doesn't matter. Intellect would be helpful. Where there was just the canon that was kind of off a little bit, but I do like starting weapon, and I like the quilted doublet for the starter gear. Resolve, is that one helpful? Resolve is moderately helpful, which is it does have some canon, some Orland residents, and club and board. I actually did that I started a Skyrim playthrough. I need to get back to that at some point. That's a great game. Maybe once we get a little closer to Elder Scrolls 6 coming out, maybe I'll play some Skyrim. Deadfire, dexterity, like the bow. Nothing for cannon, as well as nothing for stats. And this is also resolve. Oh, I did like this one. This one's about this is the pirates, right? Powerful force in the world. No, this is not the one with pirates. Which one was that one? This the dexterity one, which makes sense. I think we're gonna go for Old Valana, even though the canon doesn't check out. I think everything else is a positive for me, so we'll go ahead and do that. All right, now background. Oh man, there's so much to do. I'm still in culture. I haven't even messed with appearance or voice yet. Oh man, this whole first stream gonna be amazing. All right. Old Valania Acrisra, you live your life amongst nobility. Your days have been marked by lavish meals, extravagant parties. Your conversations prepped with talk of pedigree and bloodlines. Peppered, not prepped. All right, not super interested in that. Colonist, you're part of a group that founded a fledgling colony in a district land, survival +2. That could be good. I only have seen the major skills. It seems like there's minor skills as well. Maybe it works as kind of like Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, where we have these as governing skills, and then they're all impact, and these governing skills all impact these as well. I assume survival would probably be governed by dexterity. Does it say here? Doesn't say a ton, but yeah, it has like bonus movement, stuff like that. I assume that's probably the case. Colonist is interesting. Drifter, you never quite fit in, no matter where you go. Each new town is just a place to rest briefly before moving on to the next. You're more comfortable on the road traveling the world. You get stealth and mechanics bonuses. That's kind of interesting. Laborer, your life has been spent in the study of your craft. You trained and prepared, hoping to hone your skills and apply yourself in trade. This would be true to real life, is kind of what I've done. All right. Merchant, you've traded goods from all over the world, pairing items with buyers of all kinds, lore and mechanics. Slave is athletics and survival bonus. You've never known freedom. Shackles and chains bound your existence, and someone has told you what to do your entire life. It sure feels that way sometimes. Mercenary. Battle and blade is your way of life. You love to solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Athletics and lore. That's not that interesting. Hunter. You live for the thrill of the chase, whether for glory or for sustenance. You've made your living taking the lives of wild creatures, stealth and survival. That also kind of plays into, like, I think these are both probably governed by dexterity, which is not important for us, and we probably won't get a lot of it as this playthrough goes through. All right, dissident. You've made a name for yourself as a troublemaker. Disrespect for authority and a lack of care regarding the rules are reoccurring themes in your life, which gives you stealth and lore. And artist. You've always felt driven to express yourself creatively. Structure and rigid control of other pursuits has never satisfied you in the same way. That's also true for me. None of these. I wish I knew what skills governed what, because I'm almost positive at this point that's how this works. Lore is higher level scrolls. That could be useful. Survival, stealth. A lot of these, yeah, they seem to have a lot of the same bonuses. Other than labor has athletics and mechanics. Lore mechanics, athletics, survival, athletics, lore. Stealth, survival, stealth, lore, just lore. Drifter is stealth and mechanics. What do we get for mechanics? Traps and locks. Okay. So that's like traps and locks and stuff like that. Okay. What to do? Really not 100% sure on this one. Kind of debating. Maybe dissident? Little stealth and lore. Let's go for that. Let's try it. All right. So let's see what we can get here for facial hair options. Big beard like that. Smaller beard. What do they call that? Fu Manchu. Couple of large mustaches, goatee. Also goatee. Big goatee. That's full beard. It's pretty neatly cropped. I kind of like that. What about for portraits? Oh, you can like literally pick portraits that are outside of your race. Well, good that there's 99 of them and it won't take an eternity to cycle through them to get one that looks like kind of like what I've got going on. Seen a lot of humans and elves. Super cool art. That's clearly supposed to be a dwarf, but that's probably going to be the closest to what I end up looking like. We'll see if they have an equivalent of that for the Orlan. So we cycle through. A lot of godlike portraits I see. Nope, we've cycled through. Perfect. Yep. All right, well, let's use the dwarf portrait. That's going to be the closest to what we end up looking like. Is this what I am? Kind of looks like me. Got like horns and stuff. Could have done better organizing these, but that's all right. Let's go with that guy. Hair color, of course. That's unfortunate. It doesn't let you do separate hair and beard color, but that's okay. Skin. I'm awfully pale, but pale does not seem to be an option. That seems to be the lightest color on the board, so we'll go with that. Primary, what does that mean? That's the color of my shirt. There we go. That's a good green. Secondary color. Okay, those are my pants. Yeah, let's go with maroon pants. Why not? All right, facial hair, we got head. What do we got options for head? Oh, there's literally two of them. High ears and low ears. Kind of like the lower ears better. And let's cycle through some hairstyles. We got kind of a mullety thing going on there. Messy, slick back. Mohawk, not interested. That's always an option in games. Bald is an option. Slick back. Kind of like that one, kind of like cornrows. That's probably the closest thing we've seen so far to my hair in real life, other than my hair on my head in real life is blonde, not red. I'm also a little taller than this guy, so necessarily going with my hair, I might end up doing it anyways. I'm not super into a lot of these. I think we've cycled around so far, yeah. So let's just find one that looked closest to my hair in real life. That guy right there, and we'll move along. All right, so now we get to pick our voice.
Ready when you are.
It's not bad.
I've got this.
Let's go!
I don't know about that.
To whispers and shadows. Oh? I shall lead us. Yeah. Let's keep quiet. I'm here. Leading the way. They won't see me coming. What is it?
Watch and learn.
I'll teach you a lesson! Nice and slow.
Huh? Follow me.
Let's go!
Steady does it.
I'm here. I'm flattered.
Yeah!
Let's say male benevolent.
Quietly now.
I have the option of giving a female voice.
Quickly and quietly. Yeah?
Why is it not
Finish them!
letting me listen to it again?
Time to see and not be seen. Huh? Easy now.
Yeah, let's go with feisty. Why not? We'll see how that goes. My voice in real life's a little deeper than that, but that's all right. Enter name. I wonder what that'll be. Redbeard. All right, so I think we got everything done finally. Almost an hour in, and our character creation's done. Journey to Gilded Vale, new quest. The caravan master finishes addressing the group with his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
Okay.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks.
Sacred
Tonight,
blazing
everybody
rocks,
stays
huh?
put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
All right.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, of course. Which case you'll be dead in a day.
I feel like I need to turn the audio up a little bit on the game. Just 1 second. Voices are a hair too quiet. Let's see how that
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Okay. So we're starting off in not a great situation. Where would I find those berries?
They grow on a bush that's common around here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
Okay. What are those ruins?
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear.
Interesting.
Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear.
All right, real quick, am I able to... How do I bring up the characters, attributes, skills, grace, and sex mail? Open up options for you dialogue. Not necessarily superior to the other, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Who did build those ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
That's fair enough. Is it dangerous out here? Well, he definitely made it sound like it is.
Not if you hurry about your business.
All right.
And not if the weather holds up.
What kind of weather do you get out
This
here?
time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to.
That sounds great. What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories.
Interesting.
It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
Interesting.
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
I was going to say, you don't care to see a lot of things. All right, I'll go see about those berries.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
All right. Let's see. He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey nights sleeping on uneven ground without a blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha! He needs to find some springberries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
Well, hello, Kalisha.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Oh, good grief.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Bewick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
All right.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
I did hear him. Welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Uara, you may want to watch these windows. Okay, telling me to check for tutorials. Party always consists of your character and up to 5 additional companions or adventurers. While the caravan is camped outside of, I already forgot how to say that, Ruins. Odim has assigned Kalasa to help you. Kalasa is a fighter class who excels at close quarters defense. User abilities to complement your own. Select a party member, click on their selection circle, their portrait, or press the number button that corresponds. Okay, so they're like 1 and 2. That's convenient. Corresponds to the position of their party. Starting with one at the left, to select multiple party members, click and hold anywhere on the screen and drag. Okay.
Yeah?
Perfect. Any party members you include. Move selected character. Click anywhere on the screen where your cursor is a circle of 4 wedges. Okay, that makes sense. All selected characters will path to their corresponding positions in the formation. If you see a red circle with a slash, you cannot walk on that part of the map. When multiple party members are selected, the action bar is hidden. To see individual characters options, select only that character. Okay. Interesting. Now, where are attack, cancel, backpack, scouting, camp, formation, map, stronghold, options. What that be in graphics? I can't imagine that font size would be in graphics. Menu, save, load, quit. We'll go ahead and save, just so we got one. We'll name it first time. All right, and then there's got to be a way to increase the text size. Voice frequency, area loot, tube loop delay, adjust hover time required before. What does that say? Two clip? I don't know what that is. Either way, there's got to be. It's not gonna be an auto pause. Ba-ba-bum. Scroll speed. I don't really need that. Oh, font scale. It is in graphics. Just size. Whoop. We'll max that out. And apply. That does not look any bigger. Okay, that's only text-heavy parts of the game, such as conversations in the journal. Okay. What on earth? Okay, this is like literally everything. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we need all that. Well, let's go to here. We'll see the last two. But yeah, that okay, so we can, that's how we go back and check everything. Let's see.
Sure. Yeah?
Go on then, before it gets too dark.
Okay, text got a little bit bigger. Most people you encounter in the world are neutral or friendly. You can interact with them by clicking on the selection circle. Many characters will simply go greet you on their way, but others have larger conversations. Okay.
Yeah?
All right, let's get them both and let's get going.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
All right. We are going to have to go back in the options. How slowly that is moving. What was that? Quality font scale. That wasn't it. Was it new game? Scroll speed. Yeah, that needs to go up a little bit. Let's try that. All right, that's much better. You see a man wearing a simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear on the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
All right.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Let's see what you got. Crossbow, greatsword, pike, quarterstaff, warbow, battle axe. Is what I have considered a battle axe? Cloak of the Obsidian Order, tiny obsidian worm, Gown's Pledge, and giant miniature space piglet? What on earth? Broadsword, medium shields. Where do I even have money? I got $100. Let's actually see what I even have. Where do I check my inventory? There it is. Let's see. I got something in my hand. What is it? Padded armor. Head ring, feet, pet. Waist ring, hands. I guess I can put that ring on. Did it actually do anything? 2 per rest. This item grants the ability to shield the wearer from Medrid perils that plague the world. An aspect of God. Represents the harvest of old age, symbolized by here many interlocking sickles that form a ring. Helps protect the dignity of old age. So to do this, followers pledge to prevent young lives from being harvested before their time. Plus 2 per rest. Okay, so you can only rest so many times throughout a thing. Okay, apparently we got a pet already. What on earth was that I just picked up? Oh, that's also a pet. Tiny obsidian worm. And neck gear of some kind. Which apparently I cannot wear. Ah, there it goes. Okay, it's just like a little cape. Alright, so technically I don't have a weapon. Is that like the deal? Like I visibly see one. Oh, there it is. It's down here. Poleaxe. That's what this guy is. Slow. Damage, accuracy versus deflection. Okay. Alright. What you
Something
have...
else you need? Looks like...
So you have like a battle axe. You don't have like a better pole axe than what I have. Some armor's probably not a terrible idea. It's pretty expensive. Lockpicks. That's probably pretty important as well. Padded armor is what I have. What's she got? She got anything? Scale armor, okay. And she's got a battle axe and a torch. Okay. All right, let's just move along. Not entirely sure what all's going on here. We'll figure it out as we go. Let's see. Okay, can't go that way. Who are you?
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Okay. Very helpful. Got like what looks like it used to be part of a bridge. Oh, there's an actual bridge down here. That's nice. I have no idea if I'm going the right way. Actually, I have a map. Let's try that. That's where I am. That's where exploration is key in Pillars of Eternity as you make your way through the Eastern Reach. Open area map. See what parts of the map you've already been and what's left to explore. Okay. Alright, well, I'm supposed to find some berries somewhere, so maybe they're over here. Use the tab key to highlight interactive objects in the environment. That highlighted nothing. Oh, there we go.
This is recent. Not good.
Oh. Well, sure, we'll take all the beers. Footprints around the campfire are indistinct, whoop, and may have been here for days or longer. Okay. She just said it was recent. Is my perception better than hers? Getting the feeling this is not the way we're supposed to be going. Well, especially with this being a straight up dead end. Guess we'll head down this side of the river, see if there's anything of interest. Bet we're gonna run into problems. Yeah. Okay. So we need to head all the way back. We have clearly gone the wrong way. Let's head up this way. Don't see any berries. But they have implied there very well could be some bandits or something of the sort around.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
What is that? Burned lady. Some kind of mushrooms. She says check by these outcroppings. Some yummy meat. Whoop, game paused. Pillars of Eternity is pausable real-time system because you'll often manage more than one character at a time. It's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and then resume real-time to see how the orders play out. Options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausings when certain conditions are met, i.e. the start of combat. Alright, so probably a young wolf. Do I even have scouting formation? As far as I know, I don't have any spells yet, right? Damage reduction. Reputation none, party none. Survival. Oh, I have first level druid spells. Let's charm the beast then. Average effect. AoE only for beasts. I also have that ability to turn into a deer. How do I use that? Attack, cancel. Oh, here we are. Weapons. No AI script selected. Right click for details. Oh no. What is this? Bonds pledge. Restores amount of. Okay. There we go. First level druid spells, charm beast, dancing bolt. Nature's Mark causes enemies in the area effect to glow with pale green light, making them easier targets. Sunbeam calls down a shaft of immense sunlight, burning, potentially blinding those caught in the area. Okay, so I definitely need to get closer. Conjures a pair of giant razor-sharp talons. Whoops. Causing slash damage in the area of effect. Tanglefoot. Twisted vines that surround and entangle anyone lucky enough to be caught. Interesting. Vile thorns. Sharp thorn vines through the ground, causing pierce damage and potentially sickening anyone in the area. Winter's wind is an icy wind. Interesting. Okay. First and foremost, we're going to have to go there. And what can you do? You got knockdown and second. You'll just run up and attack. Okay, P is not how you unpause. Ah, spacebar. Alright, so now that he's in range... Now, where'd all my spells go? Oh, that's because I'm on her. Let's try... Do I want to charm the beast? I don't want to do... What was the one? Vile Thorns? No, that's pierce damage. Tanglefoot, that's what I want to do. Oh, I didn't know it worked like that. Let's do Tanglefoot. You still haven't finished your attack, correct?
Do it again and I'm taking it away.
Redbeard for 1 pierce damage. Why did auto pause right there? We'll get you back a little bit.
Usually.
And then we got that. We can do the Vile Thorns. Now, will that hit her as well? So I gotta kind of cast it in this direction. Is that what that's doing?
Works.
Nice. Alright, I am out of magic, so regular attacks it is.
Wrong side.
And we got him. Alright. Oh, we're still stuck in Tanglefoot. Alright, what do we got here? A wolf hide? Don't mind if I do. Alright, let's get
Careful. This is it.
let's get out of my spell area. Okay, there's the berries. Okay. I can't seem to interact with the cow. Let's go get us some berries. So I have to keep that in mind. I can cast Tanglefoot at a range and that kind of trap them there. That's how that's supposed to be used. I got it on good authority you're some kind of troublemaker, or at least you were an old life. For some, I was. I fought for a rebellion. You might say I was a spy for a time. That's why they put me in jail. That isn't your business. For some, I was. I fought for a rebellion. Yeah, how's it happen you come here? Let's see. We won the war, but the new government, the one we bled for, ended up being much worse. That sounds about right. I know how that feels. You can't really trust anyone, can you? Agreed. Been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Redrick's offer makes a girl think. I'll give him that. You are here to settle for the rest of the lot? Nah, I'm just passing through. That's usually the case with the big city just a little ways further up the same road. Where are you headed? Somewhere I can make money. Ah, man after my own heart. May your luck be better than mine. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Ormel will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Let's see, why are you here? My sister moved here some time back and she sent me a letter. She seemed worried, but that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that got me a little worried. But I'd do anything for her. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in, however you say that thing. As you receive quests, your journal will update with relevant information. Yeah. I'd do anything for her. Well, she's a much better woman than me, so we'll see. All right, we'll go through as much of the dialogue options as we can. I've got simple needs like open skies, far horizons. That's fair. I find work that lets me live in that way. My family wanders too. I started in Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Rutai and another in Ader. My sister ended up in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. Okay, what about Deerwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, this used to be part of the Adir Empire, broke off in a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. All right, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfell's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like and when he feels like it. We should go check on him, slap him around a little. Stream's just down the way. Come on, let's get you water. All right, we have technically already been there before. So let's head that way. Now, how is it? Looks like we're all healed up, so I don't know if that's just because we're in tutorial stages or if you just heal after every battle. We'll find out soon enough. Oh, here we are at the stream. Will there be something going on down here now?
What a surprise. Sparfel went hunting. At least he left the water skins. Come on.
You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water, while Celestia nearby keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look sharply towards the tree line. You've gained a quest item, full water skin added to the stash. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait, his stride wobbly as he moves towards you with labored breath.
Sparfel, are you all right?
It does not look like he is all right. Sparfel toe catches a rock, and he collapses in a heap. The feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Uh-oh.
Ambush!
Yes, it is. Oh, my goodness. All right. So let's get you. And let's see. You look like you're the bowman. You look like you're not. So let's get... Uh-oh. Can't use any more spells? Well, I can turn myself into a stag. Apparently, maybe I need to rest before I can use more spells. Whoops. 1 per encounter. And these all say just no uses left. Whoops. I may have gotten too excited fighting that wolf. Oh well. All right, let's go for the stag move, and then we'll start attacking.
Let's go! Let's go!
Hopefully this is gonna work out. All right, we got one down.
Let's go!
All right, let's rush the bowman. And that stag thing is scary, man. Look at that thing.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Yeah, let's loot them first. Or we're still in like combat mode. I guess there's probably more guys around here then. Take all I got. Apparently he's got nothing.
Got it.
So there is concern we're gonna run into more of these guys along the way. Oh, she needs to go too. Let's get them together and then I can do one of these, get them both selected. Oh, there's a guy right there. Okay, that's why the game paused. So do I get... Okay, I do get another one of those because it's per encounter. So let's get him a little closer before we do that. She'll go straight for rushing him. And we'll get our transformation on. And attack as well. Easy peasy. What kind of loot you got for us? Don't mind if I do. Okay, this is very interesting gameplay. Oh no, the merchant. That is not optimal. Gilflan leader, all around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hits, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Celestia puts the back of her left hand on her mouth as of a way to puts her left hand to her mouth as if to ward away some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from their bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard, tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of a young man recognized as Herodan, the last of your caravan standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life. You will lose. Yeah, why'd you do this? Or, the ruin has not been sullied by our hands. Men of Ir Galeth. I guess since we have the lore option, let's go with that. Your words carry weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must pay for this intrusion. I say again, lay down your arms. All right. We're innocent, don't listen. Only a fool attacks a weak enemy while a stronger one yet lives. And intellect, you can kill him, but you might as well be killing yourself, as well as intellect 15. Let's try intellect 15 since we have that an option. Judging by the string of animal teeth around your neck, I'm guessing you're worshippers of Galwain. If Galwain told you to stop protecting the ruins, would you? Of course, but he would not. It's by the command of the gods we accept this charge. How do you know? Because it's consistent with their beliefs, or because it's what you were told? Oh, I'm putting him in a stun lock. of logic. Logic chokehold, that's what they call it. The man glares. It's always been known to my people. I see. And what if Galwin's edict that weakness and age must be purged by youth and strength? You think Galwin would want some moldy, crumbling stones to survive long after their builders have turned to dust? The man's nostril flares. He fumes. He would not. He would have told us otherwise. I'm sure he did, just not you personally. But why should that stop you from killing innocents? Distracted, the man's grip falters on his axe handle, and he nearly fumbles it, affording Heron a moment he needs to dodge out of the swing, which comes too late. Howling with rage, the man charges towards you instead. All right. Oh, and we got Eldon helping out. Looks like he's at full health, which is good. What does he got for abilities? Second wind. Which just is a bonus to endurance, it seems. And he's got blinding strike. Dirty attack that makes the opponent unable to see, inflicts extra damage, and blinds the target. Yes, please. We will blind this gentleman right here.
What you need?
And then we'll have you rush. Do we ever rush the hunter? I feel like we should all just rush the leader as fast as we can, then worry about the hunter later. Nobody else around here, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the way to go. And then I, of course, will need to get closer. Once I'm a little closer, I'll do my transformation. Why am I not attacking? The Gaffa leader, your enemy lies spine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in wheezing in fitful gaps. He looks at you, but not to the sky above. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this time, the eyes of the man rolls back. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile right crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots, rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep breath beneath your skin, where it pierces you and feels as though it's rendering you apart from within. Caravan Master. Apparently he's still alive. Seated against the wooden wagon wheel amidst the howling maelstrom slashed across the chest and bow, Omelia's body stirs with great effort, raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
All right, inside we go. I didn't get to loot those bodies, though. You now have one rank of disposition reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive you through personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity, but if your main character is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to misalign their dispositions. The acts of the religious. Okay, we don't have to worry about that. Straining against the gale that threatens to pull you off of your feet with every step, you set your hands into the worn folds of the weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Hoden trails behind you, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who's been feigning death lunges at Helen and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Helden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They're close to you. Despite the wind from your position, if you're able to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would have a good chance at hitting your mark. Throw your weapon, dexterity not met. allow Halon to break free on his own. Oh, man. I don't know if any of the weapons we've collected so far are good for me. I'd really hate to just throw my poleaxe away. I really like that thing. I mean, having another party member at this point has to be more valuable, though, right? Oh, let's throw our weapon. Your aim is true. You hit Jar's Hellion loose, lurching to his feet. Hellion climbs up the base of the rocks as he nears the top. However, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it, and securing the other hand, you pull him with warning strength, and it feels as if though your arms are being jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Helden to set his feet and join you at the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance in the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections and unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. All right, so I got to figure out my weapon situation now. And whoop. All right. Yep, the entrance collapsed behind us, so we got to find another way out.
A Bewick. Had to be.
A Bewick, yeah. That was the special wind of this area or whatever.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
We are lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
That's also true.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
Alrighty. Alright, now I need to check. Oh, dang, I gained a bunch of experience. Let's check out that inventory and see if I got something else I can use for myself. What do we got here? Wolf hide, a bow, a pet. Hide armor is... Let's see, worst recovery speed? Or is that better? Is minus 25 better or worse? Hunting bow and more hide armor. What kind of armor is everyone else wearing? You got scale armor, and what do you got? Leather. Okay, so recovery speed should be higher. So it should be, the hide armor should be better than my padded. It probably doesn't look as nice. Yeah, it has more armor itself, as well as better recovery speeds. Let's pop that on. Not my favorite look. Definitely the padded armor has more drip to it, but that's okay. Not really important now. I gotta figure out the weapon situation. I mean, maybe I don't. I can just turn into like a deer monster. Let's check this out. Lower level of ruins may have been blocked by fallen rubble. Oh.
Huh?
Get the whole crew together. Let's travel as one. Anything I can interact with other than that? No. Something I'll have to remember is as I explore, I pretty much need to keep my finger on the
that
tab
should
button.
Be far enough. But what now?
I mean, we got to find a way out. That's not really a choice.
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Windstorm of that kind can only get in Elgarmfrith. I keep botching how to say that. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The word is Balwick. Yeah, we already know that stuff. Who attacked us? They're hut dwellers. Yeah, we already were warned about that. Why'd they say we trespass in the ruins? I don't believe that. Odin would never allow it, but as much as the Fangs are hotheads, they don't attack without being provoked either. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or there's looters here with us That's not something we need right now. That was kind of my concern. We did see that abandoned campsite earlier that would imply that there's other people in the area. What about everyone else in the caravan? Well, they're dead. The wheels got a hold of them now. God grants them better luck in their next life. You don't seem upset. I mean, I understand grieving when something tragic happens is important, but we're definitely in a now's not the time type of scenario. What does she say? Maybe you don't enough to know what upset looks like, and maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse, kept on walking because there's nothing else to be done. Because there's other people you care about who still need you. Yeah. To a certain degree, basically what I said. Let's see. Adventurers do go left, so we'll go that way.
Where'd that slime come from?
Slime. Okay, we can interact with this crate. Let's see what's up with that. Got a torch and a small shield. Not exactly what I'm looking for. And we got a mace. Okay, that's something I can equip at least. Camping supplies and hammer and chisel. What does that do? Simple hammer and chisel used for chipping away at hard surfaces, particularly ones with structural weakness. Interesting. And tutorial message came up. Discovered camping supplies. Use the rest in the wilderness dungeons, fully restoring your character's abilities and health. Easy difficulty allows you to carry more camping supplies. Blah, blah, blah. I just played on whatever the default difficulty was. So it said it was easy. It said it was recommended that for people who were new to the area. She said something about slime. I don't see any slime. I do see a bedroll there, but we seem to not be able to interact with that. Alright, so we do need to hop in the inventory and get me equipped with something. Oh yeah, it's down here. Alright, well, I got a mace at least. Torch. Yeah, I could put the torch in my other hand. It's something. See, he's got lock picks. I'll take those just in case. Along with the hammer and chisel. Small shield. Can anyone benefit from that? Not really. I think the torches are better. I'll take that just in case we get separated along with... Put that in my quick item. I don't know how to use quick items. What is beer? Damage reduction for 300 seconds. Okay, so it is an actual, like, usable item. Okay. Alright, I like that much better. I'm very concerned that these party members aren't going to be around for too long, especially with this being a tutorial mission. That's pretty normal in RPGs. You get, like, someone to help you out for a while, and then poof, they're gone. The question is, do we go left again? Yes, we do. The Eastern Reach is a dangerous place full of lurking enemies, carefully concealed secrets. Enable scouting mode, move stealthily, and search for hidden objects like traps and secret doors. Alright, where's scouting mode is like alt, isn't it?
Time to see and not be seen.
Those tiles look suspicious.
They sure do. I get any kind of clue as to what I'm supposed to do with them. Yeah, I can go in this room.
That roundish symbol.
Just like the
I'm
tiles.
sure I saw it on one of the tiles back there.
Roundish symbol. What the heck are they talking about? Whoops.
Time to see and not be seen.
Alright, I guess we'll light it. Kind of light this room up. Hopefully we're not alerting anybody as the our presence in a negative way, but let's see. The mural must be ancient. Yet the colors are still bright and vivid. Whoops. It shows a procession of Elfwatans from all the killed races. And they walk among the pillars. Okay. Like each race is supposed to light one of them or something. Nothing of interest in this room, it seems. Oh, we got attacked by a lesser black ooze. Okay.
How can I help?
You'll go right
What you
after
need?
him. As will you.
Yeah?
And diver. Nope, don't have my spells back, but I can get closer and be ready with my transformation. All right.
Sure.
What do we get? Ooze plasma.
Huh?
Viscous, oily muck clings to anything it touches. Vicious slick of something dark and tar-like runs down the walls, shapes and bulges ooze that suggests something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. Yeah, we'll go ahead and clean her off. He rinse the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding has chipped away in places, but the details of his head, from the tight curls of his hair to the ridges of his pointed eyes, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty. A gem fills the other. Okay, so we're looking for a gem of some sort. What we got here? A poleaxe, nice. All right, let's switch back to our weapon of choice. Poleaxe, please. Oh. It really gonna make me manually pull them off and then put my poleaxe on. There we go. Yeah, I like sticking with the axes. I kind of like that. All right. Nothing else to really interact with in this room, is there? Okay.
Got it.
All right, let's head on back then. Okay, so did lighting those torches, they did say that it had a lot of the same emblems on these torches in this room as these, so I guess did that resolve our... Yeah, why did they do that? Ouch, when a party member is reduced to 0 endurance, they're knocked out. This means they're out of the fight. But as long as your side is victorious, they will regenerate endurance when combat ends. Even though the endurance regenerates after combat, health does not. Keep an eye on the bar on the left. Okay. So, everyone get over here. Good grief. All right, so I pretty much need to pick them one by one and make sure they don't do anything dumb. Although there is an area over here we haven't searched.
Yeah?
Let's actually go that way first. Oh my God. Quit stepping on the traps. At least once you step on them, we didn't get hurt that... Oh no, I did get hurt. What's this guy got? Crossbow, leather armor, relief gem. That might be the gem we need. A torch and a tattered journal. Go ahead and take it all. And let's check that inventory. That gem in the stash. Burn Lady, Springberry, Amethyst, Ooze Plasma. Brilliant blue gem is sculpted to look like an eye. Yeah, that's definitely it. Alright, so what all do we got back here? A trembling, sickly creature emerges from a dark, clutching a spear, knobby elbows and thin ribs showing through its scaly flesh, but you recognize it as a Zarup. You watch it, it watches you continuously and breathes ragged sighs. Raise your arm, won't hurt you, tear your pieces. Let's say it's okay, I'm not going to hurt you. Recoils its fingers wrapped tightly around its spear. Creature cocks its head and approaches you, soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. Sniffs around you, finds nothing of interest, steps back and resumes its defensive posture. Okay, there's definitely a hint there. Let's just slowly back away from now. I bet there's something we can get to...
Wait, do you hear that?
Hear what? That's what she heard. How dangerous is this guy? Let's go with you. You up front. You up front. We'll kind of use the same strategy for now. Alright, that critter is down. He's got an ear and a piece of meat. I bet that's probably what we need for the for that other guy. Take a look at that wall. Think we could get through. A crack around the Loon's wall floor and seeing a gust of air passes through it. Let's use the hammer and chisel. You set to work, the cracks lengthen with the width of your efforts, but the process is more taxing than you expected. Your sweat beads your whole forehead, muscles begin to break, begin to ache. What if we try something else? What if we give it a push? Despite the damage, stone looks heavy and solid. Now, let's hammer and chisel some more. Alright, after several long moments, you begin to see light on the other side. One final tap, several blocks of the stone shift and tumble through the clearing gap, just wide enough for you to pass through. Perfect. Alright, so we've opened up that area. Let's see what we got up here.
I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner.
Let's pump the brakes. We do know we got what we need for this guy back here now. So let's take care of that and see what kind of what interaction we get as a reward for doing that. All right, we'll give the meat to the creature. You produce a piece of skulled meat from your pack and toss it onto the floor. The Zerp's nostrils flare, the scent of fresh meat, eyes dart between you and the food. It creeps forward, accepts the prize, shoving the spear into your grip, snatching the meat with both hands at the last moment. Its gullet quivers, it devours the flesh in noisy chomps. All right. Thanks, buddy. Continues to gnaw at the cartilage and tendon. What's over this way? This all interconnected does, okay. So now, is this the way to press forward, or is this? They kind of look like they're going to run into each other naturally. Let's go this way first. Let's see what's going on with this. Things have not gone super smoothly, so we might have to rest at some point. Let's go into scout mode.
Stay quiet.
He offered to scout ahead, so let's... Sure, that was suggested for a reason. Maybe he's got higher dexterity than the most of us. Okay, there's a critter over there for sure. Let's get away from him. We'll fight that guy together. Let's actually do that now.
Yeah?
While scouting your character's section, your circle starts to fill with yellow. Your character is starting to detect them. Once the circle fills with yellow, the character is suspicious and will move to investigate. Once the circle's red, okay, you'll be fully discovered. Moving toward a character accelerates how quickly they detect you. If you actually touch the section of the circle with your character's own, you'll be immediately detected. Okay. So can I get like a sneak attack? Like I pick just him and can I go that way? Nope. That is not how that's going to work. You'll attack. You'll attack.
Yeah?
Probably actually close enough to where I can click that, then attack. That it? All right, let me get his stuff.
No problem. Huh?
Did he really not drop anything? Well, that's disappointing. Well, not caps lock, tab. Yeah, nothing for me to interact with.
Quickly and quietly.
Yeah, we'll shift into scout mode.
Feels like there's a draft coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
Interesting. Let's check the map real quick. Yeah, this just loops around. Okay. I'm going to avoid that annoying little puzzle there. Or trap or whatever. We do got a scorpion. Or is that a spider? Spear spiderling.
How can I help?
What you need?
Well, that was quick.
Got it.
Those are apparently not dangerous at all. We'll walk back this way a little bit. Okay, I can't light these guys, but yeah, this is definitely where we were. Oh, there's other places we can go right up that way. Oh no, that leads right into the same room. We don't need to go there. I don't see anything of interest there.
How can I help?
Take this guy.
Found something.
You sure did. This is how you're supposed to do this, by the way, one at a time. That was the only reason I was having a problem, is because we were using a group. Yeah, it's literally something you can't interact with. We'll get you back to safety. There's nothing down there.
Huh?
Oh, another spider.
How can I help?
What you need?
What's going on here? Oh, dead already.
No problem.
Apparently misclicked there. Check that out. We got a rapier. And a bloodstone. Oh yeah, we still got that that eye. We need to go back for that. Batch as large as chickens. Because this very much seems to be the exit. What do we got this way? Ooh, a helmet. Alright, let's head on back. I had almost forgotten about that other room. Is it going to be faster to take the scenic route around, or should I actually, one by one, get them to cross this stupid little thing?
Hmm?
What you need?
I need you to cross this without starting a fire. Dang it.
Hmm?
Ooh, that was not smart.
Hmm?
Alright, you need to move over a little bit.
Huh?
'Cause I am definitely the one in the worst shape.
Yeah?
Select the crew. We'll head all the way back there. Come on. Alright, let's place the gem in the eye socket. Chamber begins to rumble. Stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of wall gives away. We lost the eye. Alright, we got some treasure in there. Looks like we got an enemy. We'll go ahead, we'll engage.
Hmm?
What you need?
Huh?
Let's go!
Alright, we're apparently just outright destroying these things. Take some more black ooze, whatever that does. Yeah, I figured there'd be something back here. An urn with a minor cloak of protection. Nice. Amethyst, and I guess those are just gems. Probably mostly just for money. Okay. I think we're done with this dungeon. Let's check the inventory real quick. Let's make sure I got all the best stuff I can equipped and as little stuff as possible in these guys' inventory. Like this. Can we put this in the stash? We can. Perfect. So, wolfhide, we'll stash that. Bows, the same. I'm probably not going to be using those at all throughout the playthrough. My dexterity's quite low. Hide armor, what do I got on now? I also have hide armor on. Didn't I get some leather armor? Padded armor we can put up. Helmet, might as well. That looks super awful. Spear, kind of interesting. 1 damage spear. 13 to 19. What does my poleaxe do? 17 to 24. But this is probably faster. But we'll just pack that up for now. Shield we're not using. Crossbow, mace. There's the leather armor. Medium armor, whereas this is light armor. I think I should be alright with medium armor. I think I will want to avoid heavy, is my assumption. We got 2 torches, some lockpicks, a tattered journal. This small folio is torn in several places. Blood has soaked several of the sheets. One latter entry is still legible. I can't believe my luck. I found a few rounds of dice and I got my hands on a genuine Earthquenian artifact. Fellow who had it said it was pretty nothing as far as he was concerned. He's not willing to go digging through some ruins. But if he's right about this gem leading to hidden treasure, that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I'll head to Cilant Lis in the morning and then it's just a matter of finding the relief he was talking about. Poor guy. Died over some treasure. Tiny obsidian worm. We'll just park him. I kind of like having the piglet, but we'll keep the option open of switching back. We'll keep those torches and such on hand. All right, I already selected everybody, right?
Hmm?
All right, so we can all pretty much go to about here, and then I'll have to cross them one at a time from there. I like the way this game plays. This is like relaxing, but engaging mentally.
Hmm?
All right, we'll pick you.
Hmm?
Hmm?
It's unfortunate none of those spiders gave us
Eh?
anything. All right, let's head to the exit. What do we got here?
Got it.
I don't see any treasures about. What the heck is going on over there? What is this? Older robed man. 4 figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled arbor and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as a stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. Thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you've ever seen. He wears a strange black headdress with 2 protrusions that jut out like wings over some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book.
Weight of the book? What on earth does he mean by that?
Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
Interesting. What weird ritual are they performing right here? In he goes. What has he got going on? Like some kind of like ancient magic? What is this? For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air still. Then, all at once, it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you're knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land. The pain wells in the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into black unconsciousness void. You open your eyes to a different place. Another time, you stand in a circular room, grand and doomed. Its walls lined with ardra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of Adra pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar, an apparatus much like the one you've just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. For your thoughts are yours, not your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them. They are all questions, pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered. Or, at the base of the pillar, you now see a man with a thick gray beard and ceremonial robe crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You're walking towards him, and now at a pace hurried while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one of the questions above all, and the question that spins madly in your mind. Yeah, what you doing out here, bud? That's what I want to know. You awaken to find your malice broken, only to be replaced with something more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flirts through your eyes and periphery, but when you look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tick. If this is sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. Well, dang, that's not good. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is now nowhere to be seen. Hedron and Celestia lie bloody on uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death. That was what I was concerned about, was that I was going to lose my fellow party members sooner rather than later. You're not alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. Alright, one of my characters has gained enough experience to advance a level. Click the icon on their portrait. Okay, probably that plus to level them up. First, let's do a little looting. Fortunately, they're not going to need any of this stuff anymore. I assume that's all that... Well, at least it gave you the opportunity to get their equipment back, and it didn't completely screw you over on that. But I'm alone in the party. I'm apparently sick. I'm injured. Probably need to use one of those rests. Unused points will carry to the next level. Where we got stealth, athletics, lore, mechanics, and survival. What's going to help us the most? We haven't even seen these skills yet. Stealth allows character of any class to attempt to avoid being seen or heard, used automatically whenever the character is in scouting mode. The higher the character's skill, the closer they get to enemies before being detected. That's not bad. Athletics. Adventuring this tiring world, in addition to the hazards of mortal combat, adventurers have walls to climb, rivers to cross, and pits to leap over. Once per encounter, characters with athletics can use a second wind ability to recover lost endurance. Higher athletics score increases the effect of second wind. In conversation scripted interactions, athletics can be used for physical feats like climbing, swimming, and jumping. Lore, which I already have quite a bit of pluses in, represents a character's accumulated miscellaneous knowledge and trivia. I do like trivia. Often occult or esoteric topics. Outside of conversations and scripted interactions, lore is used to activate scrolls. Higher lore values will allow the character to use higher level scrolls. Mechanics, which is traps and locks. More accurate finding traps. And conversations, mechanics be used to activate or disable a variety of machines. And survival, damage reduction, healing multiplier. Okay, let's do a survival. Let's do 2 survivals. Oh, that took 2 points. Okay. Let's do a lore then. Let's do a stealth. Will I need any athletics at any point? That's kind of the question. I almost want to do another lore and kind of min-max and really stack some stats on one. Because passing a lot of speech checks and stuff like that, I think it's normally very helpful. So we'll do that. And then we'll throw our last one into athletics just in case we need it, I think. All right, so now no new class unlocks. So are we done? No, it says I have a point. What's burn do? It allows him or her to automatically inflict additional burn damage when sprite shifted. Corrode damage when sprite, freeze, and shock. Okay, so I got to pick one of these then. I don't know which one's best necessarily. Let's go shock damage. Little Emperor Palpatine. And then talents. Whoop. Okay, that's the shock. Okay. All right. I hear lots of little whisperings in the background. Whoa, what was that? And he's gone. Well, unfortunately, I think that's going to have to be the end of the stream. This game is super interesting. I'm definitely liking this. Let's go ahead and save the game. We'll save over this one. I don't think we'll need to go back to that at any point. Call this one Time Travel. And this, I really like this. I think this game's from like 2017 or something like that. And the fact that it has that old school save feature where you get to name your saves is kind of awesome. Go ahead and save that. All right, and that way we can easily get back to it. And that way, yeah, if you're in a situation where you think you need multiple saves, you can put little reminders in there to let you know what that save corresponds to, as well as you can just be funny with it and name it something dumb. But anyways, I want to thank you guys so very much for watching, and have a good one.